Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me. So it all started with an order from Ohuhu. I ordered the 320 thinking that since I only had a couple of handfuls of markers that I needed lots more colors. Since I'm new to markers and blending, that I would need several colors to choose from so that I could get a decent blend. So let's go ahead and take a look at me opening up all of these and the chaos of my organization that so didn't work, and I'll be back in a second. So I was trying to organize these, and by the way, I got the bullet tip and the brush nib, and I was trying to organize them, and not all the colors matched the caps. The numbers didn't make sense to me. I started doing the whole little card, and I kind of gave up somewhere in the beginning because the order didn't make any sense, and I would never lay these out somewhere in that order. So I decided that I needed a method, and so what I did is I had this little like white washi tape. I think it's about an 1/8 inch thick. And I went ahead and I put a strip of it across here right under the name, and that so that when I lined them up I could see all the colors instantly. And hopefully that's in focus. I could see all the colors instantly. So that was great. One problem solved. Second problem is the bag did not hold all of these and the markers that I had. So let me show you that. Heavy little sucker. So this is the bag that they came in, and as you can see, I kind of shoved them in the sides, so that didn't work either. As far as having all my markers organized in the bag, because you can see that it's just the top won't close or anything. And I didn't think I had that many to begin with, but the bag was basically fitted just for these. So then I started investigating on a couple of the other marker holders, like the Ohuhu ones, but I would need 5 of those. And then I went on to Stampin' Up! And Storage, which they have one really large unit, but it was like over $100. So I started looking for alternatives on something that I could create. And I came up to Ikea, which, you know, they are usually the solution for lots of storage things. And so I found this Ikea unit, and I'm like, oh, it's the right size to hold all the markers, because I kind of measured this, and I measured everything in the bag so that I'd know kind of the space demands of it. And so I'm like, oh, maybe I can go ahead and do this. So I went ahead and I got the Ikea shelf, and then I started ripping it apart. Alright, so here's where I'm at. I went ahead and I ripped off all the fronts. Let me show you the one drawer I have left. This one on that Ikea shelf that I'll put up a picture. Unfortunately, I didn't video like unwrapping it, I got too excited to rip it apart and see if it's going to work. So what I did is I took a hammer and I bumped off this, and it came out pretty easily with these kind of joints that Ikea did. And then I went ahead and I left the rest of it intact, and I slid off the bottom. And then I inserted them in here, except for that last drawer that was down here. I actually used the 2 middle ones on here, used the extra fronts, and used the 3 smaller ones here. And I did use a little bit of this Gorilla Glue wood glue and secured them all in place. It's all dry now. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and stain it with this poly stain, and then finally organize the markers the correct way after you saw my mess with trying to organize the markers. And go ahead and stain it, and let's see what we've got. Supposed to have the poly all built into it. I'm not doing the inside. I'm only going to do the outside and the like lips on the front. All right, let's continue. A little bit of play before the final reveal. This is one of those crescent no bleed render sketchbooks. I'm not sure if I like the paper or not, but I only got the little sketchbook to kind of try it out. And I played with a little tree and a little window scene with a little kitty in it. I think it turned out kind of cute. I'm not a marker expert. I had gotten lots of markers so that I could see the blend and make the blends a little easier, because the more markers you have, the easier the blend should be, because the closer the colors in range. But we'll see. And here it is, all finished and loaded up, and I kind of organized the colors to grays and earth tones and greens and reds and purple reds. I think this is way too many markers. I think I over-ordered. I can see the fronts, the little tags that I put on the fronts of everyone, so I think that will work out well. Yeah, well, I've got lots to play with, and I've got a very sturdy container that will hold even a few more markers. There's some gaps and spaces. I'd say my improvised container will hold probably a little over 400 markers, and we'll see how it goes, see what I can make and what I can play with and add into the rest of my things. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.